So once again, it is time for SEMA. This would be SEMA 2024. We did not have a build last year. We're going to have one this year. I am collabing with Matt Hunt Muscle Cars on this one because technically this is my real job. Just been busy and haven't been here. So I'm down here helping these guys. We have a little over 2 weeks, maybe 3. It's 24 days at this point to get a 1986 K5 military Blazer as a centerpiece for Realtruck's booth at SEMA on their carpet. I think is sometimes white. So white carpet centerpiece military K5 Blazer. So this is day one of our really late start SEMA build. As you can see, I am back in technically what I call my real job, which is pretty part-time when I need it to be and full-time when it also needs to be. Mostly we're just trying to get customer projects out so we can be uncluttered when we actually get down to the wire on this. So by the time next week rolls around, there should be almost nothing left in the shop except for the K5 Blazer. Now, what this is a 1985-86 CUCV, or if I have that right, you know, it's a military Blazer. You know anything about the military Blazers, they come standard with 10-bolt fronts and 10-bolt rears. They're all 4-wheel drive. They all have the 6.2 liter diesel in it. This one's been kicking around our shop for about 5 years now. The customer originally wanted it built for the Gambler 500 a couple years ago, which they gave us about 2 weeks to build it, and we did. And then they did a test run of it up in thermal. Actually, not thermal. They did a test run of it up in the high desert on one of the recorded hottest days ever recorded up there, and they overheated it and destroyed the motor, so we had to put another motor in. But some of the mods we've done, we've already tore a bunch of it apart because it's been stuck in paint shop jail. But it still has a 6.2 Detroit diesel with a Gale Banks Sidewinder turbocharger system, which we put on. We upgraded it to a serpentine belt off of like a 95. We put dual batteries in it and did a bunch of electrical upgrades because this thing would light up the desert like you were turning on the sunlight. Since then, somebody's put a air dog on it because honestly, nobody ever wants to work on 6.2 turbo diesel, so it's kind of been kicked around to mechanic shops, but it always comes back here. This is just got to get us through SEMA. It runs pretty good. It has all the same problems that a 6.2 has, like hard starts and cold starts, and usually once it starts, it stays running. Gets pretty good mileage. But other than that, it's pretty bone stock. Tach, autometer gauges. See, still has the blackout system, which we are unfortunately going to delete. This vehicle was originally designed to be a pit truck for racing side-by-sides, but the 6.2 just doesn't have that in it. So this has been, it was completely covered in green Raptor bed liner, and we scraped all that off. And then since we're in Huntington Beach, let me get some better light, it had some saltwater damage on the roof, so we sent it out and got a little quickie repair job. It was pretty bad here, and honestly that was it. Around here on both sides there was a little bit under the windshield, which right now the windshield's just duct taped in so we could drive it back from the body shop. We put a hood and a new fender on it. just because why not? They're cheap enough. And then just threw the whole thing in primer. Oh, I also forgot. At one point, we actually added Ventage AC to it, so it actually has cold AC. And then as for the drivetrain, it still has the factory Turbo 400. And I can't remember what transfer case that is. I know it's just, we put the whole Gale Banks exhaust system on it. And it's got Deaver springs on it right now. Another neat thing that happened to this over the years is we swapped a 14-bolt center section, but kept the 6-lug outers. But for the last couple years, we've been partnering with Realtruck for just kind of their aftermarket universal stuff to show off. Last year, actually, we didn't end up taking a vehicle last year, but the year before that, we took one of our Broncos, which got a lot of attention. Here, I got a video of that where it was sitting. It was in a really neat spot. If you're at Sema, I know you've seen it. And this year, Sema's been a little, as far as I could tell, slow. Like, just all the businesses are just not wanting to do builds. So Realtruck reached out to us and said, what do you got? And we said, we have a K5. So they're like, sweet, we'll send you a pallet of stuff. You guys just go ahead and throw it on there. Well, since it's all universal, we have to make it all work. So like step one is we use this Jeep Go Rhino bumper, which has to be extended, as you can see. And that's gonna go right on the front. So we're just gonna throw the whole catalog at it of LED lights. We're gonna put a rooftop tent, jerry cans, jacks. We got Raceline Wheels sending us some rims. They really want us to put 40-inch tires on this thing, so we're gonna do an axle upgrade. And that's why we're using the Rough Country 6-inch kit, because this is not gonna let us clear 40s. It's got 35s on it right now. If we wanted to cut up the fenders, we could get away with 40s, but we don't wanna do that. Right now we're just measuring and doing fitment, but I just wanted to get this intro started so we have something to go off of for the future build. So I have something to go off of for future videos. I'm gonna try to keep doing updates like this when it's slow, like right now it's Saturday, so not a lot of people here, and we're still collecting parts. Like we have Andrew out there prepping the axles right now so we can roll them under and see if they'll fit, because we have, at last second notice, we were only able to come up with a Dana 61 out of a Dodge W300 with external hubs. So we're just gonna clean that up, put fresh brakes on it. This already has a crossover steering conversion on it, so we bought the kit to convert that. So when I get to that, I'll show you that setup. I know the one problem we're gonna run into is we know the Dodge axles have the spring perches about a 1/2 inch wider out. So we're hoping that we can, because it's a big 6-inch lift, that we can compensate for it. And that might add a little bump steer, but right now we're such a short time frame that we really just need to get it into the SEMA booth. And then after that, we have some cool plans for it. But mostly probably be to rip the parts back out of it and make fit and finish even better. But it should at least have a front drive shaft, and it should work. But since it's a 6.2 diesel, that's all tuned up for a turbo, it's stinky. So running it around SEMA probably isn't gonna happen much. And for the rear, we picked up a Chevy 2500 HD American auto manufacturing axle, which is a late model 10 bolt. I think it's 10 1/4 ring gear axle. Pretty beefy stuff, comes with factory dual piston calipers. We already have rotors for it. We already have a set of Stop Tech rotors for it. And like I said here, check this out. This is just one of the stacks of parts for the Blazer. And we have another stack of this in the other shop. King's gonna hook us up with suspension. We already have the hydraulic bump stops with their, which I haven't seen these yet, these awesome manufactured brackets that we're just gonna fabricate into place. Can't wait to see what the rims look like. Like I said, just doing the videos when we get the spare time, and I just hate to lose content like this because obviously my brand is Made Better Garage, and this is Matt Hunt Muscle Cars, see right there. So it's kind of, I guess it's a collab. And maybe I'll probably edit a video for his channel as well, which is also Matt Hunt Muscle Cars. I'll put a link right there. I think all I have is a Sema video on that channel. This should be a fun one. Oh, and Realtruck really wants us to put this in the Battle of the Builders too, so this is gonna be a Battle of the Builders build. But honestly, a K5 Blazer with 40s is not exactly groundbreaking, but maybe there's some nostalgia in it for the judges to be like, oh look, it's an old school military Blazer. We are gonna paint this back to Raptor green bedliner, but we've been painting that stuff so much that we know how to apply it a lot better than we did when we first originally did this, so it should last a lot longer. But I'm gonna get back at it, mostly because I'm sure the guys want me to turn the music back on. So I hope you enjoy this one. If you know anything about Sema Crunch, it gets bad. So hope you enjoy. Please like and subscribe, and the more subscribers and likes on this, the more I'm going to make, the more attention I'm going to put in the video series. But for right now, it's just kind of a side project. So keep working on your junk. This thing's definitely junk. Let's hope it's actually shiny lipstick junk by the time we're done. So see you in a bit.